What a magnificent crowd. What a glorious party. And what a wonderful day. Today, in Woodford Square, we all say in one voice, "This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." My dear friends, on this day, our party has no greater cause for rejoicing. Our country has no better reason to be glad. And the region has no stronger reason for jubilation than in relation to our feature speaker. Our feature speaker is a man of many elements. Yet when the positions and the accolades are stripped away, our next speaker is, at his core, a man of four equal parts. He is down to earth, he is contemplative, he is bright, and he is decent. And through a lifetime of dedicated application of those four qualities, he has become today for Trinidad and Tobago the only hope for a return to what is good and decent and just in all of us. He was born in Mason Hall, Tobago, and was raised by his grandparents. And from humble beginnings, by dint of hard work and by virtue of the sheer determination that has been the hallmark of his public life, he has raised himself up as one of the finest intellectuals and as one of the most experienced and capable public servants that the Caribbean has ever produced. He is, my dear friends, an academic and an intellectual of the highest order, having on the strength of his academic prowess won a scholarship to attend the University of the West Indies, from which he graduated with first-class honors. He continued pursuing his academic studies thereafter, obtaining first his MSc and then his PhD, specializing in the science of geochemistry. Having conquered the world of academia, he then turned to distinguishing himself in the world of work, holding the positions of head of the Seismic Research Unit of the University of the West Indies and general manager of the state-owned National Quarries Limited. With his intellectual ability and his academic qualifications, our feature speaker could have chosen to let his bucket down in the lucrative private sector with some multinational oil or methanol or natural gas company. But instead, he chose to devote his life to public service and to using his intellectual talents to making a better life for all of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And so he first ran for political office in 1981 when he contested the Tobago West seat. He first served in Parliament as an opposition senator from 1987 to 1990. In 1991, he contested and won the Diego Martin West seat and has won that seat and has been re-elected on 6 subsequent occasions. He has served in multiple cabinets at various times, holding the portfolios of Minister of Agriculture, Land and Marine Resources, of Minister of Planning and Development, of Minister of Housing, and of Minister of Trade and Industry. He has been Trinidad and Tobago's representative governor on the Inter-American Development Bank and governor of the Caribbean Development Bank. He has served the PNM as deputy political leader, as leader of the opposition, and as political leader. And so, by intellect and by experience, by competence and by character, by capability and by commitment, he is, pound for pound, the best political leader on offer in this election. That is why we in the PNM, together with all of Trinidad and Tobago, rejoice and are glad today. We rejoice because in all of the brokenheartedness and despair that have been brought down upon Trinidad and Tobago over the last 5 years, there is, thanks to our political leader, still hope for a better tomorrow. We rejoice for the fact that we have in our featured speaker a person who has precisely the qualities that this country needs now at this time in our history. A man whose strong intellect and long experience are what are needed to help us weather the social and economic storms that this government's policies have summoned up and that have already begun to unleash their fury upon us. We rejoice and are glad because we have in our next speaker a strong leader, a determined leader, a leader who will stand as a bastion against greed and corruption and against nepotism and self-dealing. That is the man and that is the leader who I am proud to introduce this afternoon. Please join me, therefore, in welcoming to the podium the political leader of the PNM, the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the man who is leading the fight to reclaim the soul of Trinidad and Tobago, the right, the honorable, the one and only Dr. Keith Christopher